Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So food and how you eat it dictates not just your fertility, but your overall health. But there is one category of food that is creating obstacles in you getting pregnant, absolutely. And if you know to avoid these foods, you increase your chances of getting and staying pregnant. And that is what we are going to talk about today. But first, I'm Bianca, fertility diet and lifestyle coach, professionally trained chef, and holistic nutritionist. And I help people get and stay pregnant, and I hope to do the same for you. The number one food that you should avoid when you are trying to get and stay pregnant is actually not just one food, it is a category of food, and that is processed foods. Processed foods give us nothing. There's artificial flavors, artificial dyes, artificial ingredients. I mean, it's all mostly artificial. And there's very little that your body can derive from it in order to boost your health, boost your immunity, and by extension of all of that, your fertility. And there's people out there that will say, oh, artificial foods aren't that bad. But when you think about the task of ovulation, implantation, pregnancy, postpartum, all of these these are very energetically demanding processes in the body. And because you don't get anything from artificial foods, then you are robbing yourself of those essential nutrients that are going to feed good fertility and good overall health. And when you think about red dye 40, let's talk about red dye 40 for a minute. For years, we were told it's fine, it's not causing problems. And now they're telling us, actually, it's not that fine. And I believe it is the same with all of the other things that are in processed food. And when you think about, again, the energetic demands of something like pregnancy and just fertility in general, we need real food and we need to extract nutrients from real food to fund those functions in the body. And why lean on fake and artificial when real food is where we get all of that energy? If you take nothing from this video today other than artificial foods are bad for your fertility, we're winning. But that's actually the surface level of why artificial foods are bad for our fertility. The reason that they're bad is, again, we're not able to get anything that can fund good health and good fertility. But also what it does to our body is also bad for fertility. When you think about gut health and liver health being the cornerstone of ovulation, of good hormone function, of all of the things that we need to get and stay pregnant, artificial foods actually impact those areas negatively. If your body is having to deal with the toxic load of some of these dyes, artificial ingredients, flavors, etc., that means that it can affect your gut lining, it can affect your gut flora, it can also affect your blood sugar in some cases, but also by extension of that, then it is robbing your liver of what it needs to do phase 1 liver detox. If you cannot do phase 1 liver detox, you cannot do phase 2 liver detox. And then that means there's extra blood sugar, extra hormones, extra toxins floating through your body and acting as an obstacle to you getting and staying pregnant if that is what you desire. And again, when you think about things like miscarriage can speak to genetic issues, it can speak to deficiencies, but why not get in the way of one of the issues of miscarriage, and that is nutrient deficiency. If your body does not have enough to supply good implantation, good endometrial lining creation, that can cause miscarriage. And so instead, let's fund really good fertility by eating real food. And real food is simply single ingredient foods. If you want beef, you're eating beef. If you want chicken, you're eating chicken. If you want to bread that chicken, you are using bread. If you want pop, you are having soda water with a little bit of lemon and vanilla in it. We need to find ways to swap these foods out. And for some people, it's an easy swap. They're like, okay, I want to get pregnant. I don't need to eat that food anymore. And the switch is easy. For other people, it's about finding alternatives. But regardless of the approach that you take in reducing the processed foods in your life, it needs to be done, and it needs to be done swiftly. Because one of the other things that is really important to remember about fertility is environmental toxins. And when people say environmental toxins, when I say it even, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, like things in the air and aerosols, and yes, those matter. And fragrance, again, those all matter. However, an environmental toxin can also be something that you eat and your body has to then process that it is not conditioned to process. The funny thing about liver health, especially, is there are many people in some conventional medical spaces that say, well, the liver cleanses itself. The liver is a detox organ. We don't need to do anything to detox it. And they think that when people talk about detox, we're selling you snake oil. We are not. Because when the liver and our bodies were designed, they were not designed to deal with over 200 chemicals in some of our beauty care products. It was not tasked with dealing with artificial flavors, dyes, colors, flavors. I said flavors already, but you know what I'm trying to say. And so we need to make sure that we are minimizing the impact. So not eating these foods in the first place, but then also eating foods that are going to actually fund good gut health, good liver health, which will by extension lower our inflammation and lower the stress and cortisol we carry in our body. Because that's what it's really all about. Stress and inflammation will act as the ultimate barrier to getting and staying pregnant and having a healthy and beautiful and vital pregnancy. And when you eat these artificial foods and they have an impact on your gut, and then it have an impact on your liver, and potentially have an impact on your blood sugar, what is the result is inflammation in the body. And when you have inflammation in the body, your body cannot prioritize fertility and reproduction. It is instead working to just make sure that this inflammation doesn't take over. And so when you eat single ingredient foods, you eat whole foods with protein, vitamins, minerals, carbs, all of those things, what we are doing is eliminating the offensive products like processed foods, but we are also adding good things that are going to lead to good fertility. Like I said, how and what we eat dictates so much of how we feel in our bodies, but also how our bodies work. And if your body is not working in the way that you want it to as far as your fertility, you have to sort of pull back and look at the big picture and say, what am I not giving my body that is making it not do what I want it to do? The body is designed perfectly if we give it the things that it needs. And so that is why eliminating processed foods mean there's more room for the foods that lead to better health and better fertility. The long and short of it is that fertility is not just about what you eat. It's about what you stop eating. It's about the things that you implement, but also the things that you kind of reject and push away and crowd out. Because if you are over 35, over 40, you've had multiple losses or unexplained infertility, it can be explained by looking at your lifestyle. And if you are working with the clinic and they've only asked you if you smoke or you drink and you think that's the only thing that matters, it doesn't. Because when you think about egg quality, ovulation, all of that happens inside of your body. So if your gut is in disrepair, if your blood sugar is bad, if you have high inflammation, bad liver optimization, all of that affects you as the vessel that carries this child. And so often we look at it just very narrowly, egg quality, sperm quality, but where do those eggs and sperm live? In your body. And so when you pull back and you think, how can I make my body baby friendly? One of the best things that you can do is focus on real food and avoid processed food. Again, I know that a lot of people use processed food because it's easy. It seems easy to just open a package, throw it in the air fryer, and there you have it. That being said, that can be one of the biggest obstacles to you getting and staying pregnant. And if that's what you want to do this year and beyond, you need to understand that processed foods do not have a place. You can take all of the supplements, but you will never out-supplement a bad diet. And the cornerstone of fertility and good fertile function is food. And if your plate is not looking like it needs to in order to help you fund good fertility, fund lowering inflammation, good gut health, good liver health, then you are going to find yourself not being able to explain the unexplained. And so instead, look at your plate, make changes there, and then supplement and lifestyle to support all of that, because that's really what it is. Because you think about, we eat 3 to 5 times a day for most people. That is a lot of influence daily. And if you are influencing negatively, that is going to have a negative effect. But if you are influencing positively, well, positive things can happen. And so again, processed food is the number one category of foods to avoid. I don't care what anyone says. I will die on that hill. So if you like this video, please like it, share, comment, and of course, subscribe. I love having you here. And remember that you have control. There are so many things that you can control in your fertility journey, and it can feel like a very out of control experience. But you can control what goes into your mouth, what's on your plate, and how you live, and make your body baby friendly. And I hope to help.